everybody, it's Pax. Welcome back to Alice in Wonderland. Let's proceed with Interlude the Caterpillar. There are no established roads through these dense woodlands. Each trampled trail you find works aimlessly back upon itself to the point where you make better progress forging your own path. You walk for hour after hour, staving off the strange creatures and trying your best to make sense of the baffling landscape. Your progress is further hampered as a thick fog creeps over the woods. You can barely see the distance from one tree to the next, slowing your pace to a staggered walk. Gradually, you discover an aroma mixed in with the fog, faint but strangely exotic. The fog slowly transitions to smoke, giving you no further vision but a clear trail. You follow the strengthening smell to a secluded copse, covered on every available surface by 100 varieties of mushroom. Atop one of the mushrooms sits a large caterpillar, lounging with a hookah beside him. His eyes rise to meet yours, but he reacts with complete indifference. "Who are you?" the caterpillar demands, with smoke streaming from his pursed lips. You open your mouth to explain, but the insect holds up one of its many arms. "Explain once you are the correct size." He breaks off a piece of his toadstool seat and holds it up lazily. "This will correct you." You accept no small amount of consideration, assuring yourself that this is the one case where you would reasonably take mushrooms from a talking caterpillar. Within moments of taking the bite, you shrink down to a minuscule size. Satisfied with looking down at you, the caterpillar takes another long drag of smoke before he continues. "The other side will make you grow larger," he instructs, breaking off another piece from the opposite side of his mushroom and offering it to you. "Now speak. Who are you?" It's a difficult task explaining the events that brought you here, made all the more uncomfortable by the caterpillar's apparent lack of interest and attention. "Stop," he orders at last, drawing upward slightly. "Where you have been and what you have done are quite different from who you are." You try to tell a bit of your background and motivations instead, but the caterpillar remains dismissive of your story. "You are not the same as you used to be," he accuses with a snort. "Everyone changes, but you have changed far too quickly. Discover yourself once more." His many hands extend, offering his hookah pipe down toward you. "All right, it wouldn't be the weirdest thing I've tried today." You take several short puffs of the hookah before your vision blooms with color. You look to the caterpillar and find him steadily watching you, perhaps the only anchored figure in the swirling smoke around you. As the moments pass, you find that the color isn't a figment of your vision at all, but rather a projected light that forms a small mote in the surrounding smoke. The points of light quickly multiply, shining through the haze in a mosaic pattern. You look down at yourself to see the colors beaming back onto your body. Where each light shines, a different facet of yourself manifests. Courage and conviction, intermingled with fear and apprehension. Talent and ineptitude in equal amounts. Shadows creep in at the edge of each facet, only to be banished by the overflow from other connecting lights. The display cascades in front of your eyes with increasing violence, overwhelming your senses and spiking into your mind. You lose track of the time as moments slip by in dazzling flashes. Suddenly, your eyes snap open. You're lying on the ground, nothing above you but the clouds of smoke, and no sound but the rushing of blood in your ears. Your muscles slowly relax as your breathing normalizes and the forest ambiance fades back in. The smoke parts around the stoic face of the caterpillar, still watching you intently. He scrutinizes you carefully, then at last gives a satisfied nod and a long exhale of smoke. "You have found yourself, then," he states drolly, returning to his reclining position. "When you change now, it will be for the better." You don't know what the caterpillar expected, but you weren't prepared for this sort of introspective crisis. Were you still yourself? Was this all to spark some future change in you? Or was it preventing a change by making you conscious of it now? You rise with the intention of pressing the caterpillar on what he just did to you, but to your surprise, he has vanished completely back into the smoke. You wait tensely, but in vain, as even the exotic scent that led you to the caterpillar fades away. All you can do now is continue on your search through Wonderland, a little warier if nothing else. In your campaign log, record 1 tally mark under Strength of Wonderland. In your campaign log, under Wonderland Boons, record the caterpillar. Each investigator searches the collection for a random basic madness weakness and adds it to his or her deck for the remainder of the campaign. Skip to guidance from Alice. Left once again in the hazy woods, you try to find your bearings to continue on your way. With few landmarks, the task seems left to chance once more. The eerie silence is gently lifted as a small current of air begins to blow through the forest. The fog separates around a long funnel of rushing air, providing you with both vision and a path through the forest. You follow the wind, hearing faint notes in the rushing air that remind you of the everyday sounds of Arkham. Could this be Alice's doing, manipulating her dreams to lead you home? You cling to your memories as you follow the current of air hopefully forward. Proceed to Scenario 2B, Tempest in a Teapot. Alright, so I'll quickly get the weaknesses together, and then we'll go through some deck building. So the random weakness we got for Tommy was Psychosis, and that's okay. It kind of makes a funny interaction with Kleptomania here, where in those first two scenarios I was happy to take the horror, but now I'll be a bit less so. And then for upgrades, what I've done is I've added Stick to the Plan, Ever Vigilant, and Marksmanship to go on Stick to the Plan alongside Active Desperation and a single Jessica Hyde. And for those, I'm removing 2 Stand Together and 1 Overpower. I figure starting with an Active Desperation might make up for the money I'm losing here. And frankly, I was rich as hell the last 2 scenarios. I don't know that I need this. If I do, I can upgrade it back in. Still not decided on what I'm going to do with this, like, holy or otherwise. But that's where we are with Tommy. I think this is pretty good so far. Pretty happy with how it's been playing, so let's continue being happy. And then after that, we've got Norman. Norman's was a bit more torn on. His random weakness that he picked up was Paranoia, which is a bit of a bummer. He doesn't actually have a ton of money in his, especially with those stand-togethers removed. But Crack the Case should get him pretty far, and he does have a lot of low-cost stuff. Pretty much all of his events are low-cost. He just has 1 or 2 assets that he wants to get into play. And he gets his built-in discount anyways, so hopefully that works out. What I've gone for is -2 Magnifying Glass and -1 Mind Over Matter for a Guts, a Sixth Sense, and an Astronomical Atlas. And I was thinking I'd do 2 Astronomical Atlas and a Crystalline Elder Sign, but spoiler warning, I've played the scenario a couple times now because it's got some really tricky rules, and I made a ton of mistakes. And I did a minor deck edit because I thought this might help me finish the scenario faster, adding in a Sixth Sense, so that I'm less likely to create mistakes by reducing the amount of turns I have to take. So, Sixth Sense is in here, try to play these blind if I can, but if I can't, I'm going to take some liberties on my end. So, Sixth Sense, it's going to be good for this one, I think. But I didn't want to go with 2 because I really want to get my Astronomical Atlas started. I've got tons of skills. This is double icons. It's a really cool card, and I really want to try it out. So I'm kind of doing a split and hoping that it works out well. So let's get into the game. Scenario 2B, Tempest in a Teapot. The scattered paths of Wonderland offer no more safety or direction than its wilderness. Whether the roads have always been tangled or whether Garathnaka has twisted the dreamland is unclear, but you keep up your trek regardless. At a crossroad at the edge of a large patch of forest, you stop to consider carefully, only for the Cheshire Cat to appear once more on a branch above you. I remember this spot well, he purrs, sweeping both his front paws to either side. In that direction lives a hare, and in the other lives a hatter, both quite mad. You give an exasperated sigh. Most of the citizens of Wonderland have been more than a little unhinged, but for the cat to make note of these 2 speaks to just how crazy they may be. They are likely to be at the hare's house, as it is nearly tea time. Then again, it is always nearly tea time with those 3. The cat fades away once more before you get any more details. You puzzle over the cat's words carefully. Tea for 3, but he only mentioned the hare and the hatter. You expect it was the cat's way of guiding you to the 3rd figure while maintaining its cryptic madness. You follow the weaving road towards the hare's house, unsure of what to expect. The path veers off into the woods, but very quickly dead ends in a small cottage. The house looks uninhabited, but the sound of laughter and clinking of china leads you to a side garden. A long table stretches out across much of the small garden, stacked high with teacups and pots, breads and butter, and all other manners of refreshments. The Hare and the Hatter sit across from one another, conversing loudly, though their words seem like complete gibberish to you. In the center of the table, a Dormouse peeks out of a teapot, disheveled and looking quite exhausted. He looks up with drooping eyelids as you approach, looking as though he had something important to say, but quite forgot it. Before you can greet each other, the Dormouse's eyes close, and he sinks back into the teapot with a long sigh. All at once, as the Dormouse sinks to sleep, shadows sweep in from the edges of the garden. You leap into one of the chairs, only for the Hare and Hatter to turn their attention to you with offended expressions. No room, no room, they chide, seemingly oblivious to the encroaching darkness. You brace for the wave of shadows, but instead, you feel a flutter in your stomach as your chair rises into the air. The table and other chairs follow in short order, rising just above the consuming darkness. It is very rude to sit down without being invited, you know, the Hare continues. The Hatter nods in agreement before chiming in. But since you're here, try to guess this riddle if you can. You nod half-heartedly at the tea party hosts as you begin to figure your way out of this dilemma. Alright, so for setup, I've done most of it again. We've got our new Wonderland boon of the Caterpillar getting shuffled into the encounter deck with the Dodo. We've got our Dormouse set aside. We create the seat deck, and then from the seat deck, we fill out the locations as such based on the number of players I have. So I'm going to have these 6 along here, and the one at the bottom. The Hare is at the head of the table, and the Hatter is in the seat opposite to him. So here's the Hare. He's a 3/8/3. Can't attack investigators at the center of the table, right there. And after an investigator damages any other enemy, if the Hare is ready, he moves once towards the investigator, and if he's already at a connecting location, he attacks instead. And then he has a parlay, test 3, combat to distract the Hare. If you succeed, automatically evade him. The Hatter down here is identical, except his forced abilities when I discover any number of clues, and his parlay is testing intellect. So these guys basically chase me around as I'm progressing or as I'm dealing with threats. We begin play at different unoccupied empty seat locations, and we ignore the forced abilities on those during setup. The Cheshire Cat goes into play in the lead investigator's play area, which is right here, and I'm actually going to do a little rearranging of these reference cards and make Cheshire Cat real big, because I missed him. I missed one of his triggers last scenario, and I don't want to miss it again. So let's plop him right. Okay, well, we'll plop him right there. Maybe I'll shrink him a little bit. Yeah. Okay, we'll plop him right there. Quit freaking around with that. There's an additional agenda, and then we shuffle this. So this is the real conceit of the scenario, and I apologize, it's going to be a long one. I've already played this a couple of times, and I have made so many rules errors that I really I couldn't publish it. It was not watchable. The amount of backtracking and stuff I was doing. So there's a couple of really important things about chair locations that we have to understand. I'm just going to read this kind of glossing over a couple of things here, but for the scenario, only one investigator or enemy can occupy a chair location at once. You cannot enter chair locations that are occupied by another investigator or enemy. Investigators at chair locations may swap positions with other investigators and enemies using these 2 abilities below. Because of these restrictions, investigators at chair locations are considered to be engaged with each non-aloof enemy at each connecting chair location. So, when the Hare or the Hatter are adjacent to me and ready, I'm engaged with them, and they will make attacks of opportunity. And I have messed that up so many times, and I almost promise I'm going to mess it up again. It's really hard to kind of unlearn a basic rule of the game of who's engaged with you and who's not. So I apologize in advance if I make a lot of rules mistakes on this one, because it's tricky to keep it in your head. Players may engage, attack, evade, parlay, and activate effects as if those enemies were at the location. So while they're engaged with you, you get all the abilities on them and you can attack them and everything. Enemies may also attack and activate effects as if they were at the engaged investigator's location. After an enemy enters a chair location, it engages all investigators at all connecting chair locations. Failed attacks against enemies engaged with multiple investigators do not deal damage to other investigators. So if I'm, Norman and Tommy, and Tommy misses a guy here, I don't have to hit Norman. If investigator moves while engaged with any amount of enemies at chair locations, those enemies make attacks of opportunity normally, but do not move after attacking. So they don't follow you because they're engaged with you. If an investigator or enemy would move to an investigator's location via a card effect, move them to the nearest empty chair location instead. So I don't really know when that applies because you can't move into a location that someone's at. I didn't really get what that one meant when I've played this scenario before, so I'm not sure how that works. When an enemy would move between two chair locations, but its path is blocked by another enemy or an investigator who did not trigger this movement, swap its position with that other enemy or investigator. Swapping is simultaneous and does not trigger attacks of opportunity. So, if Tommy is here, shooting an enemy here, and the hare is ready, after he deals damage to the enemy here, the hare will swap locations with Norman to get closer to Tommy. So that's an important one. Investigators at chair locations may commit skill cards to tests performed by investigators at connecting chair locations. Card effects or abilities that target or trigger from investigators or enemies at your location may target investigators or enemies at a connecting location instead. Card effects or abilities that trigger or target from investigators or enemies at connecting or other locations are unchanged. Investigators at chair locations may interact with cards in the threat areas of investigators at connecting chair locations. Okay, so that's the big dump, and these are the two abilities that are the easy part. If you're at a chair location, move. Swap positions with an investigator at the connecting location. This action does not provoke attacks of opportunity for the other investigator. So, to explain it again, if Tommy's here and wants to swap locations with Norman, if the hare is ready, and Tommy moves there and he moves there, Norman doesn't take an attack of opportunity because he's not doing a move, but also explicitly because of the ability. And another one here is if you're at a chair location, parlay, swap positions with an enemy at a connecting chair location, which, because it's a parlay, will also not trigger attacks of opportunity. So those are the rules. I'm going to break them, and I apologize in advance, and I apologize already for how long it's been that I've started this video and not been playing. So let's get into it. I already did my opening hands down here without doing the mulligan. So this is what Tommy got. He's got Becky, Cherished Keepsake, Jessica Hyde, Winchester, and Strange Refreshments. We're going to turf the Strange Refreshments. I don't think that he needs that particularly with a Jessica and weapons in his opening hand. That's fine. I could afford to get rid of the 35 because I've got Becky, but we'll keep it. Oh, Madame Lebranche. Wow, okay. That's a really good Ever Vigilant. Nice. Norman got both of his weaknesses and redrew into Livre. So I've got a cool thing where I can get my Astronomical Atlas and Livre d'Ibon out very quickly and just recur skills like endlessly, and I'm really tempted to get that going. The mist is really useful for evading these guys. If the Hatter, if I'm getting clues and the Hatter moves next to me, I can just mist away from him. It's really neat. But you can't get stopped up, because if you've got someone next to you, you can't move in with them. You have to use these abilities to swap locations with people. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turf the Enraptured, because Mist starts it with plenty, and I'd rather pick it up off the top of my deck with it written in the stars or something like that. And as much as I want to do the Astronomical Atlas research thing, I've already got a decent amount of cost here between these two. I'd rather see something a bit more useful. I'd like to see that Sixth Sense if I can get it. Okay, well, there's the Atlas and there's a shortcut. So I guess I'm doing that regardless of what I wanted. So that's the opening hand. We'll shuffle that and then we'll reveal the top card of his deck and we'll get going. So, agenda. Steeped in shadows. The swirling shadows have isolated you on the tea party table and the many chairs orbiting it, none of which seem particularly stable. You will have to find. You will have to work quickly if you were to find your way back to solid ground. And this has a couple of reminder texts on the chair stuff that we've already learned. All enemies lose all spawn instructions and instead gain spawn any empty chair location. The Mad Tea Party. The Hare and Hatter seem quite content to continue their festivities amidst the chaos, though they react wildly to any perceived violations of etiquette. They are not only unaware of the shadows, but seemingly unaffected by them as well. What role they have in keeping the Tea Party afloat is unclear, but you had best proceed with caution in any case. Doom cannot be placed on this agenda. You can spend 2 clues to resign, to leap into the shadows, trusting your intuition. And if the Hare or Hatter are defeated, we advance. And this is a 4, so presumably it's one's there if the Hare's defeated, one's there if the Hatter's defeated, and one's there if they're both defeated, right? Something like that. The Mouse Hunt. As you struggle to find your footing, your task is already clear. The shadows swept in the moment the Dormouse fell asleep. The problem now, however, is that the table's contents were jumbled when this whole event started. You've got to find the Dormouse at all costs. And then another reminder text for the chair location guide stuff. So we're looking for 4 clues. Skulls are currently -1 because X is 1 more than the current number of this deck. And then the Elder thing is -3. After the test is over, if you're at a chair location, you draw the top card of the seat deck and replace your location with that card, and then shuffle your old one back in. So here's our seat deck. It's kind of an annoying effect because these all have individual abilities that we can look at. But the one that Norman started at is a 2-3 location. They all have a forced ability that puts their clues back on them, and then something occurs. So this one's choose a non-weakness card in your hand and place it on the bottom of your deck. And then over here for Tommy, his is a 3-2. If you do not control any assets that take up at least 1 arcane slot, you lose an action. So that's where they started. The ones next to them, this is add clues and then gain a resource. This one is add clues, then place 1 of your clues on it. This one is if you do not control any assets that take up a hand slot, lose an action. This one is place a clue on each connecting chair location. And this one is the clue value is X, equal to the number of supplies, charges, or secrets on an asset you control. So that's kind of a lot of stuff going on. In the center of the table, enemies cannot move to the center of the table, and after you're moved to the center of the table, remember that you have terrible table manners. And that's where the Dormouse presumably is, but we'll find out. So let's go ahead. We're going to start with Tommy. We're going to take a resource, and then we're going to play Ever Vigilant, because this is like way too easy. Madame for 1, Jessica for 2, and the Winchester for 3, and then we'll draw a card. Oh, Thompson. Well, we should have had that originally, but that's okay. We can always act desperation this way if we need to, and play that later. So that's Tommy. Norman, I think we're going to get him started right away. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3 for an Astronomical Atlas, and then he's going to go 1, 2 for a Livre. We're going to swap the top card of our deck with the Livre. With the card in our hand, and then we're going to use the Astronomical Atlas to attach this deduction to it. And then we're going to take an investigate of 5 against 2, committing a deduction from the Astronomical Atlas to be 6 against 2. -1, so that goes to our hand after the test is done, I believe. If the test is successful, that gets added to your hand instead of discarding it, and we get 2 clues. Cool. Easy, right? Okay. Now the Hare and the Hatter are active, and they're the real challenge of this scenario. So up, keep. There's the star. That would have been nice to have in the opening hand, but that's okay. We'll take a look at that top card. 6 cents. Ooh. Oh man, he got set up real quick. Nice. Okay. Looking good. I'd love to get that played for him. It's a double icon, so I might be able to get it off of my deck really quickly. Cool. Okay. 1 Doom out of 6. Try to take this game a bit slower than my last couple times playing it. Impossible paths. Attach this to your location. When you would take an action to move from the attached location, test 0. This test's difficulty increases 1 for each location connected to your location. So this is a test 3, which I'm actually just going to write on it. And then you get Strange Challenge. Test any skill 4. If you fail, take 2 damage and put Strange Challenge into play in your threat area. Set the base value of the earlier chosen skill to 1. Wow, fuck that. So let's see. And at the end of the round, discard it. Oh, okay, just last one round. Right, okay. Okay, that's not so bad. I'm trying to think of what I could do. I could put the Perception on top, then put it on Atlas. Then this would be my hand. Playing it for -1 would be really nice. But I will have to let Tommy go first to evade him if I want to do that. Because he's engaged with both of us right now, right? Y'all got that clear? Because I'll tell you right now, it's taken me a long time to get there. But he's engaged with me. So, I'm tempted to just test intellect and put this perception in. But I could do it with the Atlas and just draw this. Yeah, let's put the Atlas. Let's put this on the Atlas. Nice. And let's commit both the Sixth Sense and the Perception to be at like 9 against 4. -3. Okay, so Sixth Sense goes to my hand because it's successful. That gets discarded. I draw a card. And then the top card is revealed. Okay. So, I want Tommy to go first, and I want him to test off his parlay. So let's test the parlay first. We are at 5. Oh, I want to heal these at the end of the turn. We're at 5 against 3. Do we really have commits? Not really, eh? I don't want to commit Becky, because I don't... Again, I failed to put Tetsuo into the deck, so I don't have a way to get it back from the discard pile. So I think I'm just going to test 2-up. 2-up's pretty good. And he doesn't really have much else to do this turn, since ideally he'd test this once and then maybe remove this, but it's not essential. So we'll test it once. Yeah, we pass. So he's evaded, so he's not engaged with Norman anymore. And I did just mention, whoops, oh, let me reset that hotkey so I don't press that again. We'll go right there, 0. Yeah, quick tip for anyone that didn't know: if you press spacebar, it goes to your loaded camera 0, and you can press Control 0 to reset what that camera is, so it doesn't zoom the whole way out every time you do that. You can also unbind it, but yeah, the binds menu in this is astronomically huge, so I have a hard time keeping track of everything and finding stuff when I'm looking for it. I failed to use Labranche at the end of last turn when I had 0 money, didn't I? It'd be nice to have right now, because then I could just play Star for 1. Anyways, yeah, we'll just discard the Impossible Paths. Get rid of that. And that'll be Tommy. Norman is going to figure out what to do with the Sixth Sense. Let's do that. I think we're going to swap the Enraptured and the Sixth Sense and take a resource. Play the Sixth Sense from the top of the deck for 2. Nice. And then we will do an Investigate with the Sixth Sense. We are at 6 against 2. -1. So we'll get 1 clue, and then, because we gathered a clue, the Hatter is going to move 1 location closer. All right, that's that turn. We ready? We ready? We'll go up. We'll go keep. Reveal that top Enraptured again. Nothing to put it on yet, but that's okay. One thing that's really interesting about the way this works is Astronomical keeps your hand size very full. So we're at 2 out of 6 Doom. We got some more encounter cards. Bizarre Brew. Peril, you must choose 1. Guzzle down the mysterious drink. Testing 3 if you fail. Take a damage and lose 2 resources. He healed this at the end of the turn. And refuse to drink from the cup in front of you. Remember that you have terrible table manners. If you already have terrible table manners, take 2 horror instead. So we're going to do a test because we're 2 up. That's a -3. So we take 1 damage, and we lose 2 resources. That's a bit of a bummer. We'll use her in the next available skill window or action window to game 1. And then that gets discarded. And then, where is that? After the test ends, if I'm at a chair location, draw the top card of the seat deck and replace it with mine. So, seat deck. We are at the throne. That's ominous sounding, isn't it? And then this one shuffles back in. Let's see what the throne does. After you enter the throne, add clues from the token bank to throne to its starting amount. Then reveal the top card of your deck. If that card's cost is higher than the throne's shroud value, gain a resource. Otherwise, you lose a resource. So, is there anything in here about when share locations come into play? I think that I do that force effect now, but the thing is, it's a two clue location, so when it came into play, it automatically had 2 clues. So I don't think I actually do the effect, because it's a then effect. I didn't add clues from the token bank to the throne up to its starting amount. I wasn't able to. So I'm not sure about that one. That one, I guess, is for Beard to let me know in the comments later. If he's watching, whether or not I should have done that. Okay, so that's that one. And over here we got the Demented Guest. After he enters location, place a Doom on him. Fortunately, he's 1 health. We're going to put him next to Tommy, and he's got a Doom on him. So Tommy's got an evade and a shot to take this turn. And fortunately, the Winchester's nice and easy to kill a guy with. So, we'll do just that, won't we? Yep, we'll do just that. Tommy is going to take 1 shot against him. He's at 4, 5, 6, 7 against 3. -1, which is a successful shot. That Doom is gone. And then we're going to take 2 evades, parlays, I guess I should say, against the Hare, who's engaged with us. We are up 2. We succeed. Last action, we will pop this keepsake into play, maybe. No, we're going to take a resource, because I would like to play the star or enchant weapons soon. So that's you. So this is the tricky part, is I only got 3 clues, and I need another one. So I need to get a clue here, or on any of these, really. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is swap Enraptured with the Mists, and then I'm going to play Mists of Rillia off the top of my deck for a resource. Now I've got a Eureka, and I'm going to put the Eureka on the Astronomical Atlas. I am just powering through this deck. That is crazy. Next, I think I'm going to parlay with him to swap our locations. So I'm going to move Norman up here with the Hare, and he's going to walk into the head of the table. It cannot leave play. It's connected clockwise like the rest of them. After you enter, add clues from the token to the up to its starting amount. Fine. Action, place a resource on head of the table from the token bank as a tick. If there are 1 per investigator ticks on the head of the table in your campaign log, under Fragments of Alice, record Patience. Interesting. Okay. What we're actually going to do, though, is we're going to investigate here with Sixth Sense and commit this Eureka into it. Yeah. So we are at 6, 7 against 3. +1. So we'll take 1 clue. We will look at the top 3 cards of our deck. Oh, this actually goes to hand. Jesus, this is wacky. 1, 2, 3 cards. And we get to draw 1 of these. Let's draw the Divination. Don't need the Delve right now. And then we shuffle and look at the top card. It's the Delve again. And you know what we might do? We might spend our clues right off the bat to do this first advancement. Shell game. With the table's contents shifting constantly, you devise a way to mark each of the teapots as they cycle past each chair around the table. At long last, you narrow the options down to a single teapot in the middle of the table. Its appearance is different than the one you remember the Dormouse slipping down into, but you know better than to trust your eyes at this point. Put the set aside the Dormouse into play at the center of the table. Here's the Dormouse. He's a cute little Dormouse. Slumbering storyteller. He's got really great icons, 3 costs, ally, Wonderland, creature, scholar. Your maximum hand size is increased by 1. He takes up an ally slot. After you draw a non-weakness card from your deck, exhaust him to shuffle that card back into your deck and draw another card. That is pretty good for Tommy, I think. Ooh, if we get him as an ally... See? Yeah, he's player backed. Nice. So 1-3, Dreams Within Dreams, and none of them quite making sense. And then we have Wake Up Call. You lift the lid and try to shake the Dormouse awake, but he remains in a deep sleep. Perhaps something at the table here could rouse him. You'll have to pick carefully, however. There's no telling what could be in each teapot or cup. Consult the chair location section in the campaign guide for additional movement options. Oh. Yeah, okay, I just realized something, but that's okay. While he's in play and not controlled by any investigator, he gains double action, spend 2 clues as a group, parlay, take control of him. If an investigator controls him, advance. It just occurred to me... I missed his forced ability when Tommy shot that guy. I was supposed to parlay him first, but I damaged another enemy, and he was ready, and so he would have taken attack against me. So I would have 1 and 1, and I suppose 1 would have healed off of Jessica. Yeah, that's my bad. So those are the missed triggers that are really easy to miss. And just in the interest of not having a full hand and wasting cards, I'm going to shortcut into the center. So now we are bad mannered. Come on. And that's terrible table manners, but, you know. Enemies cannot move here, and I'm not connected to everyone now. 4 shroud locations, 0 clues. At the end of the investigator phase, each investigator at center of the table must lose a resource or place a clue on the center of the table from the token bank. After you move here, remember that you have terrible table manners. If there are, this is a weird one, and I don't think it's that possible with Tommy in the game, but we'll see. If there are no empty chair locations, right? No empty chair locations. Choose a non-elite enemy in a chair location. That enemy makes an immediate attack against you, then discard that enemy and move to its former location. So presumably that's something that's possible, but not likely. So that is the end of the investigator phase, so I'm going to be placing a clue here because we have no money. We can't pay for that. It is victory 1, but I'm hoping Sixth Sense will let me sit here grabbing clues from all over if I have to. And I do need clues, so that's fine. He readies. Oh, he was supposed to move once. I missed that because I grabbed a clue up there. I'm telling you, it's hard. That flips, and then we get upkeep. I do have to discard a card. I kind of feel like divination is actually just not doing much for me right now. It would be nice to be able to use my deduction on investigates. Sixth Sense doesn't let me do that, but I don't need this to do that. I can just commit a bunch of stuff to a test, and I can commit deduction, enraptured, Eureka, and get a bunch of charges on mists and everything. Like, it's not a huge worry of mine. So, perception on top of the deck. You got a daring over here. We are at 3 out of 6 doom. Please ready. Oh, the caterpillar. Here we go. Put him into play next to the agenda deck. I'm actually just going to put him here. I don't want to... I tend to forget stuff if it's put up there. After the last clue is discovered from any location, each investigator may draw a card and then discard him. But he surges. And we get the Strange Challenge. Test any skill 4. If you fail, take 2 damage and put Strange Challenge into play in your threat area. I'm going to test agility, because we don't need agility. Oh, what do you know? I failed. And this goes into my play area after I've taken 2 damage, which is going to go 1, 2. Okay. And then an encounter card over here. Change places. If you are at an untethered chair location, swap your location with the furthest untethered chair location from your location. All investigators and enemies at these locations are moved with the locations. Well, fortunately, I'm in the center, so that doesn't do anything. Flip the Cheshire Cat. Fuck, he's on the failure mode now. It's okay. Curious and Curiouser. Put it into play in your threat area. Yep. As an additional cost to investigate, if there are more clues on any other location than on your location, take a horror. Test 3. If you succeed, discard Curious and Curiouser. Okay. Not a big deal. That is what it is. That does mean that I can't just start throwing out investigates here or else I'll be taking a bunch of horror. And I don't have any soak, but I've also not taken any damage yet. So I'm tempted to just kind of try it. We'll see. We'll see. I could also try and test it off, but I'm only 2 up with this Eureka. I could commit this Written in the Stars to be 3 up. 3 up's pretty convincing. And I might just do that right off the bat. I don't need him to be doing a whole lot this turn. He's pretty good to just kind of like play Star or play Enchant Weapon or something like that. Yeah, not a lot going on for him. Norman does need to get some clues, though. And I want to get him quickly. He'll be really useful to have for Norman. We're full up on allies over here, but having that hand size will be nice, and being able to like curate my draw even more over on Norman is really cool too. So I think first things first, I will. It's tricky. I think I'm going to swap the Eureka with the Perception. And then I'm going to play Written in the Stars to discard this Eureka so that it's committed to every test this turn. I'm actually just going to go like this so that I don't forget about it. And then I'll put the Guts on the Astronomical Atlas. This was a really funky turn of events, but I drew a Hypochondria there as well. So what I'll do first action is test this Curious and Curiouser. I'll commit Eureka to it, and I will commit Guts to it, Guts 2 to it as well. So I'm testing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 against 3. A Skull, which is -1, so I definitely succeed. What I'll do is I'll look at my top 3 first. 1, 2, 3. I'll grab the shortcut out of that. Okay. And then I will trigger Guts to draw 2 cards, so an Arcane Enlightenment and a Hierophant. Okay. Whoops. I'll be discarding some cards in a minute here. That gets discarded, so that's gone. So let's see. Where can I be that I'm the safest from the Hatter? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to shortcut out and try and get some clues, but I want to get them somewhere useful. It's tricky. I don't think I can swap. I can't swap with Tommy from here at the center of the table. I have to move out. And this is kind of the best. This is the spot I'd like to be the most, I think. But that's okay. It's not a big deal. I'm going to shortcut out to this armchair. When I enter it, I put the clues back up to the maximum. If I do not control any assets that take at least 1 hand slot, I lose an action, but I do. I'm going to investigate here with Deduction and 2 Enraptureds. For 5, 6, 7, 8 against 3, +1. So I'll put 2 charges on Mists. I'll grab both clues. Oh, I should have done the Eureka as well. Do I have to? Commit it to each eligible skill test you perform. I don't think I have any option, so I do a Eureka as well. I'll just draw the other Eureka. Could have done this. Oh, I haven't done this yet. Okay, so I grab my 2 clues from here. And I'll play the top card of my deck as if it were in my hand at -1 resource cost, getting 3 resources. And then the Hatter moves in some direction. I think I'm just going to swap him with the Hare. He's going to come around this way. Oh, no. I'm right. I'm there. So that's not how that works. He has to go this way. This is the shorter route. And then last action. I will I could try to Sixth Sense and just like fish for a shit token. In fact, that might be a good idea. Yeah, I'll just Sixth Sense and see if I can't fish for a token. Yeah, 0. Okay, so nothing happens. That's fine. Yeah, so that was quite a turn. And then Eureka and Written in the Stars are no longer committed to everything. Okay. Got through it. We will play the Cherished Keepsake. We will play the Star. And we will use Madame for Buck. Draw a card. Glory. Nice. Okay. That's the end of that round. He readies. We do Upkeep. At the end of the round, that goes away. We upkeep and look at this top card of the deck. Harbinger is going to be showing up at an inopportune time very shortly. I can feel it. At the end of the turn, I should have taken damage off that. I'm pretty sure that I'm missing. Oh no, I just put 2 there a minute ago. For Doom. Oh, this is a reaction? I just missed doing it there, but it's a reaction, so I'm not going to backtrack that. Test 5, Intellect. Treat negative modifiers as positive and positive as negative. Icons committed to this subtract from your total instead of add to it. If you succeed, lose an action. If you succeeded by 2 or more, take a horror. If you fail, nothing happens. No modifier, and we auto-fail. Oh, Wonderland. 2 days wrong. If you have terrible table manners, it gains +2 difficulty and peril. We're going to commit an Arcane Enlightenment and a Eureka to this because I don't really want to lose actions. So we're at a 4, 5, 6, 7 against 4. Another auto-fail. Bummer. 1 horror, lose an action. Fortunately, that doesn't trigger the Hypochondria. Okay. I guess, as they say, let's fucking go. Tommy could just clear this off of him. He could. I think what we're going to do with Norman is just like walk up and then just take a bunch of Sixth Sense tests here and to reach over there. But we'd have to drop a clue to once we walk in. I don't really know if I want to slow down a bunch. What I could do is play my Hierophant so that I have extra spell slots. Did I discard both of those divinations? Divination? I have 1 divination in hand as well. So I could play the Hierophant for 2, swapping them. It's tempting. I don't know that I need a lot more setup. I mean, it'd be nice to have divination so that I can get +1 and use my spells, and sometimes get 2 clues per investigate. Yeah, so I'll swap the Scroll of Secrets and the Divination. Sorry, the Scroll of Secrets and the Hierophant. Oh goodness, that was an impressive one. And then we'll play the Hierophant for 2. And there's the Harbinger. Okay. So that's dead in its tracks. We will... yeah, we'll just move. We'll move right there. And we have to drop a clue when we walk in, right? Or once again, this is a then ability. Add clues from the token bank to it up to a starting amount, then place one of your clues on it. I don't think I have to do that. I could be wrong. I really hope I'm not making that a lot easier myself, far more easier on myself than I'm supposed to be. But anyways, over here on Tommy, let's draw a card. Ooh, Stunning Blow. Nice. That's really useful for these guys. We will Oh, I could swap locations with him. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. We're going to swap locations, which again, I'm not adding any clues, so I don't think I trigger those. And then finally, I will just take a resource. I'd like to be able to play the enchant weapon. I don't think I'm going to play it on the Winchester. I'm going to play Becky once this Winchester's empty, though. This is just an icon now, I believe. Could be wrong, but we'll see. Okay, we ready? We upkeep, and you don't... So I'm going to do this manually, because you don't draw cards. We get 5 out of 6 Doom. Oh, I need to be careful for this. I hope I haven't messed that up already. Peril. You must move each investigator and enemy that are in share locations once clockwise or counterclockwise. Does not provoke attacks of opportunities or refuse to leave your seat. Remember that you have terrible table manners. If you already have terrible table manners, take 2 horror instead. I don't think it's a big deal if I make everyone move this way. And I'm just going to do that. That's not a big deal at all. Because this is the last clue I need. Now, this does get an extra clue on it. But that's okay. I must either guzzle down my drink or refuse to drink. And if I've already refused to drink or whatever, if I already have terrible table manners, take 2 horror. Well, I do have terrible table manners, but I do have a lot of horror flexibility right now. And 1 damage becomes a direct horror anyways. But I guess spreading it across my 2 is better. So... Is spreading it across the 2 better? Is it better to be at 1-2 than 0-3? 5 remaining health. Yeah, I think being at 1-2 is better. So I'm going to take the test. 0. So I only failed by 1. That's a bummer. But I take 1 damage, 1 direct horror, and then I lose 2 resources. Tommy's just going to test this hypochondria off of Norman. And then Tommy is going to... I'm kind of tempted to just play Becky and just let stuff die. Oh, we'll take a damage off Jessica. He's probably going to lose this madame to rookie mistakes before much longer. We're not seeing many enemies, so he's kind of not doing a whole lot. If I could have got him down here, maybe he could have done some investigates, but it's not quite panning out. Last action. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could attach the enchant weapon to this. It would make it a lot better of a weapon for now. I don't have ammo tricks yet, and this is the only copy I have, so let's not do that. Let's just take a resource. That's Tommy. We're going to discard the Harbinger. We're going to play... no, we're going to attach Written in the Stars to the Astronomical Atlas. That doesn't take an action. We're going to swap... Well, I guess we don't need to swap anything. Last action, we're going to do a Sixth Sense test here. Ooh, I need to remember to do these ticks. Yes, because I want to get that. But we're still going to do the Sixth Sense. We're at 6 against 3. Yeah, we don't have any icons. An Elder Sign, so I can swap a thing and get a big bonus. Well, there's no point in swapping because doesn't matter. But we do get 1 clue off here, and the Hatter is going to run back to us. I'm going to send him this way. Yeah. So that's the end of Norman's turn. We get an upkeep. We're going to drop a... Yeah, we're going to drop the Thompson. I've got a lot of ammo in reserve based on her dying. so that's fine. And a research librarian. Okay. First agenda is over. Party. Not your cup of tea. As the chairs cycle in and out, to say nothing of the crazed partygoers that keep appearing at the table, you do your best to avoid being dragged down into the shadows below you. The table grows steadily more raucous as the occupants guzzle down the questionable-looking tea. Heal 2 per investigator damage from each from the Hare and the Hatter. Okay. Drifting in darkness. Each time the chairs float away from the table, they seem to sink further and further from you. If this keeps up, you may soon run out of footing. This is the same rules text as before. Okay, so we can go get the Dormouse now. We have the clues for it. Encounter cards. Another backwards logic. Well, I'm not hurting for cards in hand, and Glory's not doing a whole lot, so I might just commit this as icons to be at 1 against 5. -1, so that's +1, so I do fail. Change places. If you're at an untethered chair location, swap your location with the furthest untethered chair location from your location. Can this move? Can't leave play, but it can move. That's dicey. Of course, I'm next to the Hatter now, so I got to remember this. This is important. And that surges. Shuffle any amount of cards from your hand back into your deck and draw an equal number of cards. For each card you did not shovel back, lose a resource. Well, I'm just going to shuffle back the whole hand. So I've got, how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's fine. That's probably a better hand, to be honest. Certainly a couple of usable things. About his Surge. Brain Teaser. Ugh. Okay. Put Brain Teaser into play next to the agenda deck. I'm just going to put it right here because I'm not going to remember it otherwise, and I'll leave it in his agenda, in his threat area, so don't forget about it. When Doom would be placed on any other card, including the agenda, place 1 Doom on Brain Teaser. Limit once per phase. Test 4. This is the difficulty's -1 for each Doom on it. If you succeed, discard it. I fucking hate this card. And I'm very glad that I got it now. Okay. So, let's think about what we want to do. I would like to get the Dormouse. I would like to have Tommy fucking do anything. I would like to clear this. I could Miss Avrilia on him to evade him and then move to the center. And that gives me the double action I need to get the Dormouse, and then I can test this next turn. I'll be placing a clue here or spending a resource, but it's not a big deal. I have a deduction in hand to clear those if I really need them. And I have my divination now, too. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to evade him with a Miss Avrilia, so I'm at 4, 5, 6, 7 against 3. That's a skull, so I do have to discard a card from my hand. Let's discard a Scroll of Secrets. My hands are full. He's evaded, and I'm going to move to the center of the table. And then I'm going to spend 2 clues to put him into to take control of the Dormouse, which is going to then advance. Tea and Sympathy. You find the 1 cup of tea with a much more pleasing aroma than the others and hold it up to the Dormouse's nose. He stirs lightly at first, then awakens at once with a loud gasp. Panic overtakes him until he sees you're looking down at him with concern. You're here to help? He asks you with a quaver in his voice. You nod, and he nods quickly in return. Help at last. Good, good. The things prey on dreams, even within a dream. If you fall asleep, you're as good as a fish in a pot. We've got to drive these shadows away, but we have to anchor the table and chairs back to Wonderland. Return trip. You've got to tether the chairs at once, the Dormouse commands. Find a way to anchor each one, and the table will return with it. You look back around the table and rack your brain for a way to accomplish exactly that. Action. If you are at a chair location, test Willpower X, where X is the total shroud of your location and each connecting chair location. You may spend any number of clues as a group to get +2 willpower per clue spent. If you succeed, place a horror token on your location and each connecting chair location as tethers. Locations with tethers cannot leave play or be moved by card effects. If each chair location has a tether on it, advance. So, now my objective is to do that for all the locations, and I only have to do it 3 times. Like 1, 2, 3. That seems pretty good right there, actually. This is either doing this 3 or this 3 will be a little challenging, but this one should be okay, and this one should be okay. I just need to get the clues. Yeah, okay. So now it is clues time. Which, of course, Tommy's not going to fucking help with at all. Tommy, you jerk. But what Tommy is going to do is he's going to walk up to the wooden stool. And because he's got 4 ammo on here, we're going to get 4 clues on it. And I take back what I just said. He is going to help. 3 against 1. I succeed by exactly 1, so I automatically fail and flip the Cheshire Cat. And 3 against 1. -1. Get a clue. Thanks, Tommy. Look at him contributing. Look, what has he done? Killed 1 enemy in the past hour? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, that's us. Up and keep. That's a leather coat. That'll be easy to play. We've got our 2 delves. That's all right. At the end of the encounter or the investigator phase, I was either supposed to place a clue here or a resource. I'm going to place a clue because I would just as soon have him stand still grabbing clues, I think. Especially now that I see this perception. It'd be really easy for me to just plop this divination into play. Grab both the clues and test this off, maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah, we'll see. Not sure if a clue there is actually even necessary, now that I'm thinking about it a little more. No, I'll take the money. I'll keep the money. Okay, so we get 1 doom up on the agenda, and we also get a doom on Brain Teaser. So we're at 2 out of 6. We're going to be getting some enemies soon. Discard any number of cards from your hand or play whose total cost is equal to or greater than your current location shroud value. If you cannot take 1 damage in horror, well... I'm just going to discard this glory. Another curious and curiouser. Yuck. Okay. That one's kind of annoying for him because I don't have a ton of commits for it. I can't play the Holy Rosary. That's not that bad. But we need to get this out this turn. That cannot stay. It is not permitted. Okay. Let's do some stuff with Tommy first, maybe, and have the Hatter come. No, the problem with them being like opposite of each other is that they actually they start to space the board out in a really awkward way that's tough to deal with. So I think Tommy's gonna spend a turn like playing a leather coat and drawing up a little bit. So yeah, we'll just go ahead with Norman first. I do need to get rid of this and this. So let's attach... Ooh. I can't play the Written in the Stars until I've done a test. Okay. We'll use the astronomical... We're going to test... Okay. Getting ahead of myself. How do I want to do this? We're going to use the Livre to swap Rosary in the Perception. And then we're going to play the Rosary for 1. And then we're going to test Curious and Curiouser 5, 6 against 3. That doesn't actually exhaust this to use it. So 6 against 3. First action. No, second action. Okay. That goes to my hand, and that gets discarded. Can I afford to leave this out one more turn? I think I can. Oh, and this top card should be revealed. That is not a useful thing to see on the top of the deck, but that's okay. We're going to... Yeah, what I'm going to do next turn is I'm going to swap this back on top, play the Written in the Stars so it's committed to everything, and then just like burn through some deductions and stuff like that. Last action, I could test 5 against 3. That'd be fine, because then I wouldn't have to worry about it later. Like 5 against 3 is actually pretty good. Yeah, fuck it. You're gone. Tommy's going to play his leather coat. He's going to draw a card to replace it. Ooh, nice. And he's going to investigate 3 against 1 again. 0 gets another clue. And this time the Hatter moves because last time he was not... He was exhausted from Norman having evaded him. So we ready? We do up. Keep. We have to discard a card over here. Let's discard the Research Librarian. He's not very useful. I've got my books out. 2 Vicious Blows is nice to have with a Winchester. Probably going to start seeing some enemies soon. 2 out of 6. Yeah, there's the Demented Guest. So we'll plop him right there and place a Doom on him. Okay. And then Norman... He's getting 2 days wrong again, so I'm at 5 against 4. I don't really have any commits for that. So 5 against 4 is the best I can do. Take a horror and lose an action. -1. Nice. Easy. Okay. May as well go with Tommy first. Shoot the Demented Guest, evade him. I don't even know what else I'll do after that, but that's a good start. Norman forgot to place a clue or spend a resource, and I think he's actually going to spend a resource this time instead of placing a clue. No, he'll keep placing clues. We've got a lot of... We need a lot of clues to pass these tests. So it's actually not that big of a deal so long as I can leave this at 0 at the end of the game. And I also really want to get these ticks at some point. And I have time. I've got plenty of time, I think. So yeah, we'll go with Tommy first. We're going to shoot this arsehole. 7 against 3. That kills him. And then the hare marches towards me. And then I will shoot him again, but committing a stunning blow to it. Which succeeds and evades him, and I only deal 1 damage. Finally... I'll swap with him, maybe? Is that a good idea? I don't think so. Yeah, no, I think that's okay. I think that's fine. I'll swap locations with him. So we'll move there, he'll move there. This will get 1, 2, 3 clues on it. And then I choose a non-weakness card in my hand and place it on the bottom of my deck. Let's toss this Vicious Blow. I think with the Becky in hand, that's not that big of a deal. Put the hair right there. Okay, so there's Tommy. Norman is going to do what I said last time. The Research Librarian is going to go into my hand, and I'm going to put the Perception there. And then I'm going to pay 1 for Written in the Stars, which puts Perception committed to all of my tests. That's the top of my deck. And then I'm going to investigate here. 5, 6, 7, 8 with deduction against 4. -2, so that succeeds, and I get 2 clues. Cannot attack investigators at the center of the table. Okay. And then I will draw my scroll of secrets because of perception. And then I'll investigate again. Up however much, and I'll commit this to it. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, and I succeed. And I draw a card, and this is not in the discard pile, but these are both in my discard pile, and they shuffle when I do this. And I draw a card, and then I reveal the top card of the deck, and then that goes there. I still have a perception, by the way, and then I also play the crack the case to 1, 2, 3, 4. Get the resources off that. We'll use the Astronomical Atlas to put the deduction there. Whoops. Okay, Harbinger, whatever. And then we will move to... where are we going to move? That's a great question. That is a great question. Oh, yeah, I guess I won't do that again. I gotta remember this. I don't want to move. The problem is the Hatter's actually in a really shit spot for me right now. So I think I need to move like here. We could spend a lot of clues and just get these ones, even though it's pretty tricky. 8, a test of 8, but that's fine. Yeah, okay. Okay. So he readies, we ready, we do upkeep, and then we do... okay. She does get discarded, finally. That's alright, because I can replay her. After all that effort. 1, 2, 3, and a resource. Okay. 3 out of 6. An obsessive visitor. Hunter. X is equal to the number of clues on his location in each connecting chair location. X of 5. We'll put him here with the... Yeah, we'll put him there. And then Norman's going to get a baddie as well, probably. Mind your manners. You cannot activate parlay effects. Discard it. Remember that you have terrible table manners. If you already have terrible table manners, take 2 horror. Well, fortunately, I don't think I need to parlay this turn. Because I can have the Hatter kind of swoop around the table twice, doing some 6 senses from here or something like that. But more likely, we're just going to get rid of the Harbinger, because that puts us at a pretty bad standstill. So, we'll start with Tommy. And he's going to test this guy off of him. Just get a really nice high value so I don't have to spend a bunch of actions on it. And then we're going to 1, 2 for Madame Labranche back into play. And then we're going to draw a card. Keep faith, cool. Okay, Norman, we're going to double action the Harbinger away. And then we're going to investigate once with 6 Sense with a Eureka committed to be 7 against 4. -1 for 1 clue. And we'll look at the top 3 cards of the deck. We'll draw another Eureka. Shuffling it. Getting a deduction there. And we'll put the deduction on our Astronomical Atlas. And that's fine. Okay. And he would have moved in one direction. Let's move him this way to come around to find me. Yep. Okay. He has Hunter, so he's going to be hunting towards Tommy because he's the closest, and they're just going to swap locations again. The hare is going to ready. Tommy's going to ready. We're going to go upkeep, and we're going to go upkeep, and then Mind Your Manners is going to get discarded. Okay. 4 out of 6 Doom. Flip the Cheshire Cat. Another Obsessive Visitor. Yuck. So we'll put him over here. I guess we are starting to get a little cramped, aren't we? It's fine. And a Curious and Curiouser, but that's okay. I think I'm done investigating for a little bit with Norman. Not too long, but a little bit. Let's think. How do we want to do this? How do I want to chunk these out? I think I'm going to do a chunk of here, a chunk of here, and a chunk of, you know, these three. I think that's okay. It'd be easier to do it here, wouldn't it? Yes, that'll be easier. So that'll be what I do. So I want Tommy to do the test. Oh, so I probably do need Norman to keep just investigating. Okay. So I can have the Hatter displace him. Now. Yeah, okay. I like that. Yeah. Okay. We'll go with Tommy first, though. So we're going to commit this act of desperation to the... no. We'll just do a bunch of tests. We're 2 up against him. Okay, it went off. Not a big deal. I think I'm just gonna fucking play over this with Becky. There. I can just let stuff die if I need to, right? Like I can just stand here doing actions and kill my keepsake and code off if I really need to. I don't know why I haven't done that already. 1, 2, 3 for an enchant weapon on Becky as well. That's Tommy. We'll evade him again next turn. No, they're gonna swap. He's gonna do an attack against me. I'm gonna kill him, and then I'm gonna do the test for this. Norman, on the other hand, is going to keep getting clues. So Norman, I'm going to have you. What am I going to have you do? I'm going to have you test this off of yourself first with a Eureka committed. We are at 6 against 3. That's gone, and I look at the top 3 cards of the deck. Add one of them to my hand. Let's do the Enraptured. Hypochondria. Let's investigate here with our base 5. We'll use the Atlas to commit this to be 6, 7. Should commit the divination? Yeah, 8 against 4. So we'll get another charge there, and we'll get the 2 clues. And the Hatter will swap places with this guy. Oh man, this is really funny. These guys can actually... I can actually make these guys stall out by having this guy hunt first, which would be beautiful, to be honest with you. And I'm probably going to do that. As much as I probably shouldn't. Yeah, no, I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do that. As cheeky as that would be, I should not do that. Because that'll just lead to some stupid shit happening. Let's not do that. Last action as Norman. Let's think. What is my last action as Norman? Oh, top of the deck is revealed. Let's group those 7 and 2, so 9. Okay. I want to go get this at some point. I want the Hatter to... I'm actually just going to move here. And after I move there, I place a clue on each of the connecting locations. So he's going to hunt there, and he's going to hunt there. He's engaged with me now, so he's going to attack for 1 and 1. So I'm going to go 1 and 1. Whoops, sorry. 1 and 1. Ready, ready, ready. Up. Keep. Grit. Ooh, grit would be really nice to have. Should have put those on Madame. 5 out of 6. Doom. We get Vanished Away. Choose a player who does not currently control the Cheshire Cat. Swap it. It surges into 2 days wrong. If you have terrible table manners, this test gains peril and +2 difficulty. Oh shit, did I walk through the center with him? Kind of feel like I haven't. But I might have. I made such a big spectacle about it with Norman. I have a hard time believing I did. No, he walked up to this and then moved here. So he hasn't done that yet. So he's testing 3 against 2. Which, you know what? I'll play this Keep Faith. And I'll just test it. 3 against 2. -2. So I fail. Which is 1 horror. And lose an action. And over here on Norman, change places. Ooh, that's not good. Puts him in a bit of an awkward spot. Actually, it puts him in a really good spot to do this test. So maybe if Tommy can... What can Tommy do? You know what Tommy can do? Tommy can... he's right there, isn't he? Yeah, he is. Tommy can kill him, and then move, and then kill him, and the hair will go boop and boop. Then I can evade the Hatter, move back here, and do the test there to get that one, to get those ones closed off. But that has Surge, so let's stop planning until we're done our Mythos phase. Possible paths. So we can still do that. Yeah, we can still do that. Okay. What's this one? It's still 3. So let's lock that. Rate 3 on it again. Okay. Yeah, so we'll do exactly what I just said. Oh, no, I can't take a shot against both of them. What am I talking about? It's okay. I'll enchant weapon with Becky, spend an ammo to shoot at him. His fight is like 5, but that's okay. I'm at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's toast. He's going to move towards Tommy, which is going to swap them. And then he's going to draw a card. Okay, not super useful, but that's fine. Norman is going to Jesus. Norman's going to use the parlay to swap positions with an enemy at a connecting chair location. So he's going to parlay to swap with the hair. He's going to evade the hair with the mists. We'll discard a Mind Over Matter. And remove 2 of those. And then we'll do the test here. So we're at 5 against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll spend 2 clues. Is that what it is? 2 clues to get 4 up on the test. So it was parlay, evade, test. Boom. Sweet. we've got 3 of them on lock. Nice. I'm going to take back this discard. I'm actually going to discard this Research Librarian. It's less useful. Okay. So that's them. He hunts there and attacks Tommy once, which is going to do 1 horror and 1 damage, which is going to defeat that, giving me 1, 2, 3 ammo on Becky. Shuffling this back into the deck. Upkeep. He readies. Be ready. Be ready. And upkeep. Lose all of our 10 resources. We're pretty well set up. We don't. It's not a big deal. And we burn the next agenda. The Tea Party guests guzzle down their drinks and stuff their faces with any bits of food they can reach as they keep up their nonsensical conversation. This madness is going to get you all killed if they don't snap out of it. Heal 2 damage from each of the Hatter and Hare. Okay. The sparse light illuminating the Tea Party table is fading fast. If you don't find a way out before the darkness envelops you, there's no telling if you'll ever see daylight again. So we just need to pass 2 more tests, and I'd love to get the clues off that if I can. Or, sorry, get the fragments on that. Questioning the answer. Test 3. If there are no clues on your location, cards can't be committed to this test. If you fail, take a horror and discard a card at random from your hand. Well, there are clues on my location, but I don't have icons to commit. So, testing 3 against 3. -1. Yuck, wish I had the Cheshire Cat. Wish I had the Cheshire Cat but flipped. 1 horror. That's going to go on him. And discard a card at random from your hand. Yuck. Daring. Not a big deal. Ooh, the Demented Guest. Okay. Let's put him there. And Tommy's going to get to have a fun little turn, isn't he? And I think Tommy's going to go first. Yes. Tommy is absolutely going to go first. Tommy's going to kill the Obsessive Visitor with the enchanted weapon Becky. +1. So he's very toast. And the Hare is going to swap locations with Norman. And since it's not a move action, I don't have to do this test. And then Tommy is going to take an attack against the Demented Guest with Becky again. 4, 5, 6, 7 against 3. -1. He is toast. And he moves there. And then finally, you know what? Tommy's just going to walk away. Taking an attack of opportunity. Putting 2 clues here. Then gaining a resource. But the attack of opportunity is going to put 1 and 1 on Madame Labranche. Yeah. Norman, I'm going to have him Miss Aurelia on the Hatter, which is 8 against 3. That's 5 against 3, so I do still succeed. I don't have to use the Cheshire Cat. So he's flipped. I'm going to move to the center. I'm going to move again down here. And then I'm going to do the action to place a resource from the token bank as a tick. Ready, ready, ready. Upkeep. And upkeep. Shortcut off the top of the deck. Nice. Not bad. Okay. 1 more Doom out of 6. Oh, I was supposed to drop a clue here, actually. Oh, no, it's at full again, so we're good. Can't activate parlay abilities. I think that's fine. Is there any other? That's not a parlay, so that's not a big deal. Okay. And you get this one. Questioning the answer. If there are no clues on your locations, card can't be committed. If you fail, take a horror and discard a card at random. Well, that's no problem. I'm going to commit this Arcane Enlightenment to be 7 against 3. And I fail. So I take a horror, and I discard a card at random from my hand. Perception. Not a big deal. So I think I still need a couple clues to pull this scenario off. Yeah, I definitely still need a couple clues to pull off this scenario. Because I don't think that's enough. This is a difficulty of 9, and this is a difficulty of 9. And I'd need a lot more to make that work. Yeah. Okay. Because I only have 7. You'd need to spend 4 just to be +4 on these ones. Okay. Let's evade this guy. Discarding a divination. We'll put a tick here to record patience in our campaign log. And then we will attempt the test there. So we're at 5 from the cards in our hand. Sorry, from our Holy Rosary and that. We'll get to 7, 9, 11, 13 against 9. Ugh, painful. Okay, Tommy. Let's see, what's he going to do? I could just start throwing out some investigates and try to pull off a look what I found. I think I am actually going to do that. So we're going to test 3 against 4. -1. Easy. Okay, so can he do this? That's kind of my question. Can he just pull that off? He's at 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. That would be all of my clues to be the same odds on this set. He could move up and make it a lot easier, though, right? 7 instead of 9. Spend 1 less clue. And he's got the soak to do it, so let's move up. Let's do the test. Triggering attack of opportunity from the hair, so 1 and 1. So we're at 3. No, what kind's in hand? 5, 7, 9, 11. 11 against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're 4 up on that. Oh my god. Okay. That sucks. Really bad. That was tremendously bad luck. Holy shit. Okay. That is what it is. He gets another attack on him, so we're going to dump Madame. She's going to give me... This is all 6, right? Yeah, so she gets another damage and another horror on her. So I'm going to get 2 ammo on Becky. 3 ammo on Becky and 3 resources. Shuffle her back into my deck. Okay. That was super unfortunate. I do not have a lot of time now. That was really, really, really rough. Discard any number of cards from your hand is total equal to your location's shroud. So 2. We'll just get rid of the strange refreshments. I don't need skill bonuses, basically. That's also gone. Is this empty yet? No. You get a disjunction as well. My shroud is 3. I think that I'm just losing this Hierophant, because I don't really want to lose anything else. Yep. Okay. So that sucked pretty bad. That was really rough. We're gonna evade him or parlay him. So hold on. What am I actually doing with Tommy? Am I just gonna throw out a bunch of -1 investigates? It's not even that bad, to be honest. Yeah. So 4, 5, 6, 7. Successful. And then I'm going to just investigate a bunch of times. That's a clue. And that's a clue. Okay. Did I forget to... Might have messed something up moving around here, I think. Not sure. We'll see. We're going to evade him again. We're going to investigate here with a crack the case committed and a deduction off of my my Atlas. So we're at 5, 6, 7 against 3. Both the clues. The deduction goes to hand. And then we're going to shortcut off the top of the deck to here. And we're going to investigate again. I'll put that on there, actually. We're going to investigate again with another deduction and a written in the stars this time. Investigate committed. Yeah, limit once per test. Okay, but it's not. This one does. The second one doesn't exhaust to do this. So 5, 6, 7 against 3. Okay, -2. So we get those clues. Okay. I think that we're recovered from that. I think that we can still pull this off. I just need a bit less awful luck. So we're gonna ready, upkeep, and then upkeep. That's in my hand, and that's discarded. Okay. So he needs to move there and do the test, and he needs to do the tests. Do I have enough clues to do it? Maybe. We'll see. 3 out of 6. Move everyone clockwise or counterclockwise. Okay, so I don't even need to move there. And then the teetotaler. Teetotaler? Teetotaler? I've never actually said that word out loud, I don't think. The old man's headgear resembles a samovar, and he pours himself a cup of tea by bowing his head forward. I don't think I've ever said samovar out loud before, and I don't know if that's correct. Okay, anyways. Yeah, so, oh, I needed to, oh, you know what? We have to do all the effects on these locations, though. So we place 2 clues here and gain a resource, and then we place 2 clues here. Okay, so... You know what I could do with Tommy is like... I don't really want to try the 9 again. I could swap them. There's a lot of things I could do that all seem really janky and not very good. And I think I'm going to do them. So I'm going to swap. I'm going to parlay him. So I'm... Ooh, it's not an evade or an attack, so I can't commit that. I could commit Gret. I'm 2 up right now. Yeah, I'll get 3 up. I'll commit Gret to parlay the hare. Okay, so he is evaded. What's this guy attack for? Just horror. Ooh, I don't have any horror soak right now. Okay, not a big deal. We'll swap our locations. Which means that I have to put 2 clues there. And then put a non-weakness card for my hand on the bottom of my deck. Let's put the Winchester on the bottom. I don't need that. And then I'll take a shot at the Teetotaler. We'll just get rid of him. And I can do the test next turn, maybe. Once Norman's got his locked down and I've got some more clues. So just a lot against 3. Yeah, he's toast. So and just a ton. It's a lot. It's a lot. We don't have to worry about it. I guess I could have used Daring, but not a big deal. Okay, Tommy's done. Let's try to figure out how I want Norman to do stuff. So let's investigate once with the Sixth Sense. We are at 7 against 3. We'll do the chair location test. So we're at a 9 difficulty with base 5, so that matches, and that succeeds by 4. Okay, so we put the tethers out. And then we would do this, but now that they're tethered, we don't. And I'm going to swap a Research Librarian and a Delve from the top of my deck. And then I'm going to play the Delve for free. He's testing a lot on that, so let's get rid of Gret. It would be testing 4 against 4. Okay, he passes. Ooh, did I forget to remove Blesses last time? I feel like I might have forgotten to remove Blesses on a test. Okay, if I did, then that's my bad. He would have placed some clues down, and that would have sucked, but... Oh, he just grabbed a clue, didn't he? So the Hatter would have moved there. And that would have been an attack of opportunity. Okay. My mistake. That's not good. Let's play this Mind Over Matter. We'll be testing 5 against 3. And we'll commit a Written in the Stars to be 6 against 3. Okay, what's the top card of my deck? I'll swap this Guts with this Shortcut. Which makes me pass that. But more importantly, I have a Shortcut on the top of my deck. Yeah, I didn't mean to take that attack of opportunity. That was me. Again, there's so many weird triggers on this. I forgot to move him when I took this clue. In fact, I think I have a whole other attack of opportunity on me, so I'm going to shortcut away from him to right here. So he readies, he readies, he readies. When I moved there, oh dear, I had to put 2 clues. And then I lose a resource, because this is a lower cost than this Shroud value. Okay. 4 out of 6 Doom. Forgot to upkeep. 4 out of 6 Doom. We've got another Teetotaler I'm going to put like out here somewhere. And another Teetotaler that I'm going to put out here somewhere. Okay, so unfortunately, I don't think Norman can do his other Delve because the hare needs to be evaded, and I don't want to use another turn up. Oh no, I can. Okay, so we'll use mists to evade the hare. Yep, that is successful. We won't move. We will use the Sixth Sense to do an investigate with a guts committed to it. Doesn't really matter too much. Getting one clue. Drawing a card and then drawing a card. Sorry. And then I'll play the delve. Dodo. Continue to surge. Another cognitive dissonance. 3 against 4. -1, I will cancel it, but that doesn't do anything. If you fail, place 1. If you fail by 2 or more, lose an action. So yeah, I will cancel that actually. I'll cancel that so that I don't fail by 2 or more and lose an action. But I will place one of my clues on my location. Then you get change places. I'm tethered, so nothing happens. And backwards logic. So we'll commit a perception and enraptured and a scroll of secrets to this to be at 1 against 5. Okay, I get +0, so I fail. But I do have to draw a card, which I'm going to use to defeat the Dormouse. And then the delve goes into the victory display. Okay, that's Norman. On Tommy's turn, we're going to have to pass this test, unfortunately. So, oh, he drew a Kleptomania. Okay. When did he draw that? I don't remember when he drew that. Must have been the upkeep. I guess I can throw out 1 investigate. So 3 against 2. And then we will do the test. We're at 3 against 7. So 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. -1. Which puts the last 2 there. I think the Hatter would have moved here, wouldn't he? When I got that clue. Did I fuck that up again? Fuck. Ah, man. I was hoping that I would get this done sooner so that I wouldn't make these mistakes. I'm a little concerned that Norman just died to horror and I missed it. But he would have died to horror before I do the delve. So how about I do this instead? How about I'll think about how to resolve that. I might just take a trauma. I'll just take a trauma. I don't know. I'll take a trauma off Norman. I don't think that I get to play that. But that's fine. I was not paying enough attention. I'll review this in the post-game footage, and I'll either not get the VP and take a mental trauma from forgetting it, from punishing myself a little bit, or I will do it correctly. I'll do whatever's correct. Anyways, so Tommy gets to advance. We're all tethered. In each chair, you try to direct your memories towards your adventures in Wonderland thus far. Each image you conjure and an event you replay seems to banish a small patch of darkness under each seat. You continue around the table until at last a ring of grass surrounds the tea party. As if severed, the shadows retreat, and slowly the hare's garden fades back into vision. If the current C agenda is the Mad Tea Party, R2. An excellent riddle. Let's have another. The exclamation snaps you out of your thoughts, and you return to see the Hare and Hatter still seated around the table, sipping tea and smiling congenially. You keep your distance, remembering how they behaved during the earlier chaos, but they act as though nothing had happened. Come now, a bright guest like you can surely think of a riddle we haven't heard before, the Hare invites, bounding over to escort you to a closer chair. Your thoughts jumble and your words stumble, but your recent experience inspires a question. When can you be in the dark and in the light at the same time? The duo scratch their chins and tap their spoons idly, spending several seconds in thought. Finally, the Hare draws upward and raises a finger. When it's day out, but you've no idea what's going on, he proudly proclaims. No, it's quite the opposite, the Hatter scoffs, when you know exactly what's going on, but it's dark all around. After all, it was pitch black only a moment ago, and we knew precisely what happened. You raise an eyebrow at the suggestion that they were aware of the danger the entire time. The Hatter pulls you closer and lowers his voice to a whisper that's somehow louder than his speaking voice. Everyone is mad here, you know. The things that make sense, well, those belong in Alice's world. And the shadows are rather picky. Why, poor Dormy here started making sense, and they went after him just like that. You press the two mad partygoers further, and to your surprise, they divulge plenty of details about Garath and his brood. The Dormouse gives a long sigh and smiles faintly as he continues waking up fully. They may be mad, but friends are friends. I'm quite surprised and happy, mind you, that you didn't give them a thrashing for their trouble. In your campaign log, record 1 tally mark under Strength of Wonderland. We'll just do that really quick. Getting real strong. In your campaign log, record that the Hare and the Hatter thoroughly enjoyed your company. Each investigator earns victory equal to the victory cards in the victory display, so it's going to be 1, 2, plus 5, so 7, plus an additional 1 depending on what I see in the post-game footage. Each investigator earns bonus experience from the Hare and the Hatter's information about the shadows. Nice. So we get 7 total there, and potentially 8 with a trauma, right? I'll see what I do. I think I just got a trauma from that. Wasn't paying attention. Skip to Resolution 6. Another ordeal behind you and many more to go. The Dormouse clambers onto your shoulders as you depart the Tea Party garden. Wonderland is disorganized, more than usual, your new companion explains, and you will need my help in sorting through it all. Should your own thoughts become similarly cluttered, I shall help you sort them out as well. You shake your head in disbelief that you would be grateful for the help of a talking mouse, but here in Alice's dreams, anything that doesn't intend to be your enemy is already a great help. Any one investigator may choose to add the Dormouse to his or her deck. This card does not count towards the investigator's deck size. In your campaign log, record 1 tally mark again, under the Strength of Wonderland. Oh dear. Check the campaign log. If the investigators went down the rabbit hole, proceed to interlude the Duchess. Alright, so that's where I'll leave it off. Like I said, this one was quite the brain burner. Hopefully I didn't fuck up too badly at the end here with Norman. I think I missed quite a few attacks of opportunity there. And like I said, I'll review that, and depending on how that went, I'll either take my extra VP or I'll just stick with my trauma on Norman. So yeah, cool. I really like that scenario. It's tough, though. I gotta say, playing that solo is... there's a lot going on. This one's definitely a brain burner. I never triggered the Caterpillar because I kept forgetting about him. Yeah, that's a tricky one to play by yourself. I think if I was at a table with my friends, it'd be a lot easier to make sure you're not missing triggers. It's just the way the game is. When you're playing solo, you got to be extra careful with that, but man, that one was tough. So I'll see you guys next week with the Duchess and Scenario 2C Bleeding Hearts. Bye.